Na furihi huona wengi mkucha kwenya mkutana hu na shukuru kupata nafasi ya kuzungumza leo. Norway ni mshirika wa maendeleo nchini Tanzania kwa miaka zaidi ya 60. Tumejenga mahusiano makubwa kwenye sekta ya kilimo. So it's both an honor and it's a privilege to be here today as we continue to strengthen the long-standing partnership between Tanzania and Norway. Since the early 1960s, Norway has been a dedicated partner to Tanzania's development journey in various sectors, including energy, education, health, governance, and of course, agriculture. This long-lasting partnership has been rooted in mutual respect, in shared values, and a commitment to addressing common challenges. The long-standing collaboration has not only fostering strong bilateral ties, but has also positioned both nations as leaders in promoting sustainable agriculture practice and food security, further strengthening their shared vision for a better, more prosperous future. Climate, agriculture, and food security are fundamental pillars of our cooperation. For Norway, food security is more than just a priority. It's a core mission. We are committed to help Tanzania produce more food locally. We are committed to help you to trade more, to export more, hopefully also to Norway. We are here to help in transforming to create a modern agricultural sector, to increase productivity, and to increase value addition. We are committing, as I said, helping Tanzania produce more food locally, with a special focus on supporting small-scale farmers, empowering women, and investing in the entire food production value chain. However, we cannot achieve these goals without taking into account the central role that climate change plays in shaping the agriculture landscape. Strengthening agriculture productivity must go hand in hand with safeguarding the environment. In 2023, we reaffirmed our commitment to intensifying our bilateral climate partnership with Tanzania, recognizing that climate change is no longer a distant challenge, but a reality with profound consequences on food security, the environment, the very economic development of nations. Climate resilient food production is one of the main pillars of the bilateral climate partnership and also a background for arranging this workshop. Our commitment to this cause has never been stronger. 1 year ago, during the state visit of Her Excellency President Samia Suluhu Hassan to Norway, we signed the Memorandum of Understanding on Agriculture and Food Security, a clear indication of our determination to build on our shared priorities and deepen our cooperation. As promised during that historic signing ceremony, we are already working hard to put this agreement into action. Central to this effort is the strategic partnership with the Southern Agriculture Growth Corridor of Tanzania, SACOT, which serves as a crucial bridge between the private sector, smallholder farmers, and government through the public-private partnership. The success of SACOT so far has been remarkable. By facilitating private sector investment and boosting agriculture productivity, it has driven significant improvements in food security and ensured environmental sustainability. Smallholder farmers have seen their income rise, and cumulative investments in the region have surpassed targets, making a major achievement in our shared goals. We also acknowledge the tremendous support of President Samia's government in expanding the SACOT model across Tanzania. This endorsement is a powerful testament to the positive impact this model has had on Tanzanian agriculture. Norway will continue to stand beside Tanzania in this important journey, supporting the new strategic phase, expanding impact, and extending the SACOT model to even more regions. In fact, we are excited to announce that recently we signed a new 3-year agreement with SACOT to deepen our collaboration even further. Private sector and trade play a crucial role in driving agriculture development in Tanzania. A thriving private sector working alongside with governments and smallholder farmers is essential for fostering sustainable growth, job creation, and long-term transformation in Tanzania's agriculture sector. Trademark Africa and Repua are other Norwegian partners working to improve the condition for private sector investments in this sector. And we are very glad to see an even stronger collaboration between SACOT and Repua and Trademark Africa. Today, we also have the privilege of witnessing the signing of a new agreement with the Alliance for a Green Revolution in Africa, AGRA, to support Tanzania's Agriculture Transformation Office, ATO. This agreement will contribute to the rolling out the agriculture growth corridors of Tanzania, the ACOT model, and community commodity initiatives under the new agriculture master plan. The Norwegian support aligns with Tanzania's Vision 2050, which seek to transform the country to an industrialized middle-income economy with a diversified agricultural sector. The support to ATO promises to bring together key stakeholders, creating a comprehensive framework for agriculture growth, resilience, and sustainability. Through this collaboration, we aim to contribute to a system that will allow Tanzania to meet its long-term agriculture and climate-related goals, as outlined in the country's development plan. So let me conclude by reiterating that Norway remains firmly committed to Tanzania's long-term agricultural transformation and sustainability. The agreement we are signing today with Accra will support ATO, and this is another step towards achieving our shared goal. We look forward to the positive result it will bring to Tanzania's farmers, to communities, and to the nation as a whole in the years to come. Building a strong bilateral climate partnership and the agriculture MOU between our two countries, we are excited to continue learning from each other, sharing knowledge, and standing together as strategic partners in the realization of Tanzania's Vision 2050. Together, we will work for a resilient, prosperous agriculture sector that will be the backbone of Tanzania's economy for generations to come. Thank you very much. Asanteni sana.
Thank you very much, Madam Ambassador. Honorable guest of honor, before signing the agreements, we are going to hear from the two partners. We are going to hear from AGRA. They are going to tell us about the highlights of new agreement, which is going to be signed today. of AGRA supporting ATO, but also we'll hear from SAGOT. So I would like to take this opportunity to invite the Tanzania AGRA Country Director, Vianney Rwendera. Please take the floor.
Honorable Mr. Honorable Ambassador of Norway, my brother Professor Kirenga, all protocols observed. So we are going to witness the signing of the agreement between AGRA and Norwegian embassy, as well in terms of the Norway. Which one? The Norway government today, and the support is mainly around supporting the ATO in the transformation journey of scaling the SAGOT model. We all know that for the past decade, three decades, the Tanzania government plus private sector partners and donor partners have been implementing the private sector partnership within the SAGOT corridor, which has been successful under the leadership of my brother Kirenga. And so the aim is how now we support the ATO and SAGOT Center Limited scale that model into other 4 agricultural zones as a growth corridor. As AGRA, we are implementing a 5-year strategy, which is around inclusive market, sustainable farming, seed system, and policy and state capability. This particular signing agreement lies within flagship number 7 of the Agricultural Master Plan, where AGRA, through the partnership of the AATI, we have supported the government of Tanzania to develop this master plan with that flagship. Now, the ministries and the government argues on the implementation process, which is all about getting the actual funding of the process. So there are 3 objectives within the agreement that is signed. The first one being around coordination and implementation of the AGOT corridors. It's very important to have a coordination that is geared to implement fully the clearing of the corridors. Secondly, is creating an enable environment for the private sector to come in and invest into the sector. As you all know, the Agenda 10 State Investment Roadmap, the master plan talks about the investment that should come from the private sector to make it more sustainable. And the third one is around increased investment, which is basically the clearing of objective number 2. So by way of that introduction, this will be a partnership that will be between AGRA, ATO, SAGOT Center Limited, Poplar, and specifically the LGAs within the new agricultural corridor zones. I remember the representative from POLAG this morning talked about the need to consider the importance of LGAs, which is largely considered very well to be the anchor of scaling these ones. If you listen to Mr. Kirenga, he will tell you the work we have done in socializing all this work within the LGAs, like the city policies, you talk about the regulations. If you don't clearly populate them and socialize them well at the LGAs, you ought to fail, because that's where the rubber meets the rubber meets the tire. Otherwise, by way of that introduction, that will be the signing, which will be signed by the regional director on behalf of AGRA president. AGRA president will not be here today because of, you all know that we have a new president coming in. There is a lot of transition coming in. The new AGRA president will be joining 1st of March. So that particular transition is making things to be busy therein, but nothing has gone bad. Things will happen. The MOU, the agreement is going to be signed. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. Vian, Honorable Guest of Honor, I would like now to call upon Mr. Geoffrey Kirenga, but his address is twofold. First, he's going to tell us about the agreement which has been signed with the Norway, NORAD, but he is going to invite you to address this gathering as the member of the Presidential Advisory Council on Food and Agriculture. Mr. Kirenga, please take the floor. Karibu.
Honorable Deputy Minister for Agriculture, my brother David Silinde, Honorable Ambassador of Norway in Tanzania, Tony Tains, and the high table, protocol observed, dear colleagues from the government and also from the partners within Tanzania and beyond, and particularly from Norway. My name is Geoffrey Kirenga. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of SACOT, and I stand here grateful because, again, we are implementing something which is very, very important in the agriculture. As you may remember, we have a very close relationship between our country and Norway. Our president visited Norway, and in that process, there were a number of agreements, and these kind of meetings are the ones which are implementing that. So one of the implementation has been support which many of our institutions are receiving from Norway. One of that institution is SACOT. Number of experience, particularly on how we've been able to bring together the government, the private sector, and also the non-stakeholders to work in the corridor. We have been able to develop a vision, and that is actually contributing towards the transformation of the agro industries, make it inclusive. It's not only businesses, but also involving smallholder farmers. Our mission has always been to make sure that there is cordial relationship between the government and the private sector to address the agro industries transformation between small, large, and medium, in order for the farmers to be able to change their production system and also allow Tanzania to benefit more on many of the value chains that are in the country. We do mobilize facilitators and investments in the corridor. We lead on the policy issues, especially those ones addressing investments. We call it investment facilitation. And also we make sure that the investment that is taking place will be done in a sustainable way. And now we all agree this is even more important with the climate change. Go to the next slide. I'm glad to declare these numbers to you. It is actually the first time we are sharing them since we have done our research, that in the corridor, about 1 million farmers have been engaged. And many of these farmers not only engaged and benefit from the partnership that we have had, a number of them have been permanently lifted out of poverty. And that is something very important. That is how we see agribusiness taking place, because these farmers are producing surpluses, and these surpluses are becoming businesses, and the businesses now are benefiting not only themselves, but also the country. We have seen that there's increased farming revenues, and we can share that about 1.2 million hectares. We improved technologies, and the investments that have taken place in the corridor is actually interesting. About $1.3 billion have been invested by the private sector in the past 10 years. But out of that, about 5 billion have been invested in the infrastructure in the corridors. And that's the investment by the government. And this is transformative, not only in the corridor, but also throughout the country. The Munyere hydropower station, which Tanzania now is benefiting, is an investment that has happened in the corridor. But also a lot of road infrastructure and electricities. I'm just coming from Jombe, and one of the district commissioner was very proud standing up and saying that 98% of my villages in my district have been connected to the grid. And now my task is to do the economic, realize the economic power of that investment. Now, this is a very important slide. The green part is the corridor. And then the other colors The light blue is the Mtwara corridor, which is in the southernmost part of Tanzania, bordering Mozambique mostly, involving regions of Mtwara, Ruvuma, and Lindi. I will skip the green part because that's the famous Southcoast corridor. But between the coast region and Morogoro, we connect with Singida, Dodoma, Tabora, and the Lake Zone region, which is the biggest corridor, almost the same size as Southcoast corridor, which is the Central corridor, is a new corridor. And then you have the Northern corridor, which will cover Arusha, Tanga, Kilimanjaro, and Manyara. So these are the new corridors that we have included in our strategy. And this is the ones which we can see. In order for a corridor to be a corridor, there must be an entry and also an exit. And that is particularly important because that is where you can see the infrastructure, road, airports, as well as railways stepping up that corridor. So this is the shape that we have considered. But within those ones, we have a number of agroecological zones, which Tanzania is blessed with, and we will be operating in those agroecological zones. It is important to mention that even in the Southcoast corridors, you cannot be everywhere. You have to select places where you have greater chance of transformation. And this is the work which we are looking forward to do with, especially in the support that ATO is getting today. Next slide, please. Now I'll go very quickly. We will be maintaining the strategic areas of focus, and also will deepen the interventions in the AGOT corridors. We will be facilitating partnerships. That is what I've mentioned, between the players, especially between the government and the private sector. We will look on the policy and advisory issues, because policy advocacy is very important. There are many things that are dear to the government and many things that are dear with the private sector, and also non-state actors and our supporters. But sometimes there could be not complete alignment, and that is where we bring people together. We've been convening and agree on what is best for a particular value chain or a particular area or a particular investment. And we'll be continuing to do that. We have a good experience, and also we have a promotion of the climate smart agriculture. Productivity is a factor of many things. One of it is actually how we judiciously use our resources for production. We will be advocating the climate smart practices, issues of taking care of the health of the soil. We'll be prioritizing the partnerships, and also we'll be maintaining collaboration with partners especially in the research, but our knowledge partners like GRG and others that have been working in the area of investment. GRG stands for Green Reference Group. Next, please. The AGOT strategy is guided by the following principles. I will quickly go through them. That is, we will be looking on the national priorities. We have now the master plan, but also we have Agenda 1030. But again, we're just developing Vision 2050, and I'm very lucky to be one of the people that have been selected to participate in its development. Agriculture is given priorities in that particular area. This is being translated now in the long-term perspective plan, and I'm lucky again to be part of that team. So we will be looking on what is being prioritized. And I'm happy to share with you, Honorable Minister, that the work that you have done in developing Agriculture Master Plan has made our work in developing the vision and now LTPP quite easy and enjoyable, because we know what our partners in agriculture really need. We'll be looking, and another issue is the institutional strength. We'll be leveraging what we have developed, our capacity, and also our partners. But also we will develop more on the inclusive growth. One of my trainers in the past told me that if you want to develop, you cannot develop alone. You will never be successful if you have an island of prosperity in a sea of poverty. We need to develop, and inclusive growth is critical. And also, we'll be using the food systems length, very important. We only produce, but nutrition to our people is very, very important. Also, it has to be done in sustainability. Let's go to the next. This is a complicated slide, but what we need to say is there are a number of places that are extremely blessed by what Tanzania has been given, the land, the climate, the people, but also the investments that have taken place by the government, the railway, the roads. But again, also we have investment in research, storage, and other things. These areas, this is where you find clusters of businesses taking place. Our duty is to go and see how we can facilitate that. We'll be using the compact arrangements, especially commodity compact, to make sure that we succeed in making sure the production is done in efficiently, competitively, but is done in a sustainable way. And the experience that we have had in the Southern Highlands, especially in the clusters and also in the commodity clusters, something which we are ready to go and take to the other corridors. And we're looking forward for this. This is going to be quite exciting. And knowing that ATO, but also the Department of Agriculture and the Minister of Agriculture will be part of this, but also in the other ministries like livestock and also Vice President's office on the issues of looking on the environment, we create a particular unique partnership that makes us success. And this cluster approach and commodity compact are very important in the success. And this is the experience which we will be bringing in other corridors. But together with this, we do have businesses which are quite successful. The ones which have invested around 1.3 billion in the Circuit corridor. Some of these businesses have already grown and have become national enterprises. They're already working in other corridors. So we will be looking on what are they doing and what lessons can they bring. But also one hidden thing is that the leadership that you have worked with in the corridor, many of them have been transferred, are available in other districts and regions beyond the Circuit corridor. We will leverage that relationship that we have developed with that leadership because those will be our ambassadors because they have lived and they have worked with us in the corridor. They will be sharing that message together with the partners and teams that we have from the Ministry of Agriculture. This is how we're going to do it, and it's going to be quite exciting. We're looking forward for that. Next. These are quite details on how we're going to do wrapping the private sector engagement in the targeted value chains, interventions, its pillars, and also the emerging commodity compacts approach. We will do the coordination and collaboration of partners. We will continue to create an enabling environment to enable private sector to grow. And also will increase in the prioritizing of issues of environment, especially soil health. And we'll explore opportunities for agriculture to benefit from the climate financing. This is something which is global, it's new, but there's a lot of opportunities for the agriculture sector. I will make this my last slide because of the interest of time. We're looking forward to work more closely with our partners, especially our partners in the Ministry of Agriculture and also Ministry of Livestock and Fisheries, and also the Vice President's Office, Environment, and others. In our work with ATO, we'll develop investment blueprints in those areas which we are going to identify. And we're very happy that this support through our relationship and the work that Tanzania is doing with Norway is going to enable this to happen. We'll be addressing barriers that are not allowing agriculture to grow in the way that we wanted in order to be able to feed ourselves continuously, but also to have surplus to sell beyond Tanzania. We'll be working with our knowledge partners. And here I've just mentioned REPOA because I know you're supporting REPOA. Very important analysis work that has been done. And I'll give you one secret. Tanzania geographical position is quite unique. In itself is a resource just like the other natural wonders that have been given to Tanzania, like the minerals, the waters. Our geographical position can make Tanzania a gateway into Africa, but also opening us to one of the dynamic growth areas of the world, the Indian Ocean part. But also, we are not very far to the Middle East and even Europe. So we will be leveraging that opportunity in order to see how we can optimize that. And finally, I will not go into those details, John. I would like to end here by showing you an example of how one can be successful in the value chain. We have used this picture of this lady in our banners. This picture is a potato farmer, the lady that you see in this banner here. In that we started working with potatoes. Tanzania's farmers were producing not more than between 5 and 7 tons per hectare. Right now, our farmers that we have worked with, they're able to reach between 28 tons to 40 tons. Njombe, Iringa, and Mbeya, they are already surplus producers of potatoes, something which Tanzania used to import about 30,000 metric tons annum. Right now, if you go to our neighboring countries, like those ones in Kenya, in Kikomba market, most of the potatoes that you will see will be coming from Tanzania in the southern highlands. But it's not only for production for the sake of it. It's for production in order to bring money into the farmer's pocket. And it has to be done in a sustainable way. Right now, all what we have done, although we're already producing surpluses, most of our farmers are not getting improved seeds, yes. So we are excited, the work that you are doing with TARI, but also with the private sector companies that are coming in Tanzania. So this one value chain, and when I look at ATO master plan, we see a number of value chains. And most of these value chains can undergo that fantastic transformation. The secret is bring the knowledge that you have generated in our research institutions, the knowledge that is within the private sector, because we do have strategic investors in these value chains. Make sure that you do it in a sustainable way, because you have to make sure that you are working in a sustainable way. And finally, bring the partnership between public and private sector. It is very challenging to present what SACOT has done and what is planning to do in 10 minutes, but I've done my best, and I thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
Now, the second address, Mr. Kirenga, of inviting the guest of honor.
Thank you. Now, I've been given an honor and opportunity, ninayo heshima kubwa kupata fursa hii kukaribisha Mheshimiwa Naibu Waziri kuja kuhutubia hadhara hii. Karibu sana.
Habari za mchana. Your Excellency, Norway Ambassador to Tanzania, Continents, Mr. Kirenga, CEO of SAGCOT, Mr. Vianney Agra, Country Director, all government officials present here, distinguished guests, all protocol observed, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. First of all, I would like to thank God, the Almighty, for His protection and keeping us healthy to meet here today. I feel honored to be given this opportunity to participate in this important event that aims at launching of new projects to be implemented by ATO and other key partners through AGRA and signing of agreements between Norway and AGRA. Ladies and gentlemen, I was told that this project aims to unlock agriculture regulatory barriers, including export barriers, to attract private sector investment and scaling up the SAGCOT model to agriculture growth corridors of Tanzania, and to have an inclusive economic growth, improve the food system, reduce the poverty, The total cost for this project is Norwegian krona 15 million, which is equivalent to 1.348 US dollar for 3 years between 2025 to 2027. And at the end of this implementation, we will realize the following issues. One, enhancing coordination and commercialization of smallholder farmers for inclusive economic growth, improved food security, and poverty reduction. And two, enhancing coordination, mechanization, and effectiveness of corridors, clusters, and commodity compact delivery. Number three is improved enabling environment for investments, including market, trade, and finance. And four, inclusive market performance for supported value chains. Ladies and gentlemen, the government of United Republic of Tanzania and the government of the Kingdom of Norway signed the Memorandum of Understanding on 14th February 2024 in Oslo, Norway, during the official visit of Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, the President of United Republic of Tanzania in Norway. Among agreed areas of cooperation on that MOU, one was facilitating and promoting private sector investments and access to financial services, especially for local, small and medium food processing enterprises. They have access to affordable finance, market opportunities, and the resources they need to thrive. Two is to build a Better Tomorrow program, BBT, which aims to enable livelihood of youth and women through agriculture sector and government initiatives to address youth and women unemployment challenges in agri-food systems and to create sustainable market-led solution, boost food security, enhance trade, drive economic growth for Tanzanian farmers, producers, communities, and the country in general. Ladies and gentlemen, the government has made significant progress in fulfilling demands for farmers. We have developed and enforced policies and programs that create an enabling environment for agriculture transformation, including the establishment of Tanzania Agriculture Growth Corridors. The Presidential Agriculture Advisory Council, the Agriculture Transformation Office, the Development of Agriculture Transformation Master Plan 2050, Agenda 1030 Agribusiness Strategy, Building a Better Tomorrow Youth in Agribusiness Program, BBT, developing of various projects, including Tanzania Food System Resilience Project, this is TFSRP, and Tanzania Agriculture Input Support Project, ICIP. Ladies and gentlemen, due to that, Tanzania has done well in ensuring food sufficiency to over 128% in the fiscal year 2023-2024, respectively, indicating strong performance in production and productivity. This has been made possible partly because the government's strategic focuses on expanding agriculture land and infrastructure, boost agriculture productivity, and ensure food security, including research development, expansion of irrigation scheme, seed sector development, and the commercialization of the agriculture sector. Also, transformation done by the government through agriculture-led ministries from the concept of food security to food system and sovereignty, which consider agriculture sector in a broader perspective as economic welfare of a country, such as investment on construction of rural roads to facilitate transportation of agriculture inputs, agriculture produces and electrification of rural areas to enhance agro-processing. Ladies and gentlemen, further to that, we increase the budgetary allocation for the crop subsector from 88 million US dollar in the financial year 2020-2021 to 420 million US dollar in the fiscal year 2023-2024. For example, the increased budget is direct to the development of irrigation infrastructure, where we have increased the area under irrigation from around 400,000 hectares in 2019 to 730,000 hectares in 2023. We have targeted to reach 8 million hectares by 2030 in order to maintain our supply capacity to food to many countries that are food insecure. This is guided by our vision to feed ourselves and feed others commercial. Also to research development, seed multiplication, extension services, and marketing infrastructure. On the other end, Tanzania achieved a growth rate of 5% in 2024 from 2.7% in 2019, surpassing the continental average of 3.7%, but falling short of 60% of Malabo target. Therefore, we have deliberately given the priority to the agriculture sector in the sense that it is all about economic welfare of the people. We now look in a food system and food sovereignty perspective. We are expecting to launch Vision 2050, which has put agriculture sector at the center of the country economic transformation. Based on that, we have reviewed all programs, plans, and strategies in the agriculture sector by considering the best practices, lessons learned, and come up with the Agriculture Master Plan of 2050. The Agriculture Master Plan is a visionary, broadly economically perspective, and addresses specific intervention for agriculture sector. Therefore, Agriculture Master Plan will be our roadmap for agriculture transformation for the next 25 years, and will be implementing through programs, strategies, and projects, including Agenda 1030 implementation strategy, which aims at attaining 10% sector growth by 2030 from the current 5%. To attain this, private sector is encouraged to collaborate with the government through public-private partnership. Building a Better Tomorrow program, a youth and women initiative for agribusiness. The program aims at addressing unemployment to youth and women by solving their main challenges, such as access to agricultural land, startup capital, skills, technology, reliable market for agriculture producers. Thus, the government intends to allocate between 5 to 10 acres to each youth under the BBT program. The government has already secured a total of 300,000 hectares and aims at securing a total of 1 million hectares by 2030. Ladies and gentlemen, as we work on the food system agenda, our sector objective is clear. We intend to promote inclusive growth in the economy. We have embarked on the implementation of the flagship program known as Building a Better Tomorrow BBT Youth Initiative in agribusiness from 2022 to 2030, which unlock challenges associated with the youth in agriculture, such as land, capital, market, technology, and perception. The program adopted participatory approach, which involves government, private sector, development partners, and other key stakeholders. The programs entails drilling of boreholes in block farms to provide climate resilience initiatives. And the other intervention include BBT extension support, BBT financing, and the BBT block farms. Ladies and gentlemen, post-harvest losses have been hampering the effort to eradicate food and nutrition insecurity in our country. In efforts to ensure food security and reduce post-harvest losses, we have invested into construction of storage facilities, building capacity to farmers and other agriculture actors along the value chains, as well as investing in post-harvest handling technology. We now have finished construction post-harvest center of excellence at our capital city, Dodoma. However, it is estimated that 30 to 40% of harvests are lost across all crops. Culture is driven by several factors, including the inadequate agro-processing facilities. This may be addressed by public and private sectors, including Norway and other partners, through construction of aggregation facilities such as warehouse, processing, and packaging buildings. I expect this project will join hands with us in construction of those infrastructure, since we will address the challenges facing smallholder farmers and local processing SMEs as intended by the project. Ladies and gentlemen, trade is a driver towards transformation of food systems, and it is a key in attaining our promises of the SDGs. We have established COPRA as a vehicle to facilitate trade within and outside the country, which will stimulate production and productivity, hence livelihood improvement. It is my hope that this project will also join hand with COPRA initiative towards enhancing trade within and outside the country. In concluding, I would like to thank the Kingdom Government of Norway for enabling this initiative, we wish great success to all implementing partners and stakeholders involved, and don't forget to engage the Minister of Agriculture during your implementation for documentation and awareness. Asanteni sana kwa kunisikiliza, and I'm ready for witnessing signing and launching of the ATO, AGRA, and SAGICOT agreements. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Guest of Honor. Gladys, we are now preparing for the signing ceremony. Okay. 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 Very much. Thank you very much, Honorable Guest of Honor. Now we are going to launch the new agreement of SAGOT and ATO and AGRA. And this will be done by pressing the button on the set aside table and also cutting the cake. So it's exciting. Gladys, can you please arrange for the pressing of the button? And this will be, there'll be a countdown. Mr. Kirenga, please lead the guest of honor to the button pressing table. Okay. 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 Dangerous.
So now we are going to start. We did the other projects which was signed today. And now we're going to the next one. Called Apple. Okay, now we are starting.
That is for ABCOT. Okay. Thank you very much. Now the cake. Cake what? Okay, now the guest of honor is going to cut a cake. Okay. That is the cake to commemorate the signing. And this is going to be cut by the guest of honor and honorable ambassador. So Gladys, the knife. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So here the guest of honor will cut a piece of cake together with Madam Ambassador. And then Hi. Okay. Now they're going to prepare nice pieces to the honorable ambassador will feed a piece to the guest of honor, and the guest of honor will also give a piece of cake to Madam Ambassador, and the rest of us will see the cake in the reception room. Don't queue for the cake. It's very tempting. Okay? Okay. One. Okay? Haya, makofi jamani. Mheshimiwa, naomba umlishe Madam Ambassador. Asante. Makofi mengi. Asanteni sana. As I've said, this cake will be taken to the other room, so we'll get an opportunity to see it. And now I would like to invite the acting director of Agriculture Transformation Office to give the vote of thanks.
Honorable David Silinde, Member of Parliament, Deputy Minister, Minister of Agriculture, His Excellency Ton Tunis,
Ambassador of Norway to Tanzania, Professor Jean Georg, Agra Regional Director, East Africa and Southern Africa, Mr. Vianney, Country Director, Agra, Mr. Kirenga, Chief Executive Officer, ATO, Sagot Center, Head of Delegation, NORAD, government official, members of press, distinguished guests, and ladies and gentlemen, Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania. Honorable Minister, Deputy Minister, as we wrap up today's MOU signing and project launching ceremony, I would like to take a moment to extend our sincere gratitude to all those who have made this event possible. Nevertheless, first and foremost, I would like to thank you, Deputy Minister of Agriculture, Honorable David Silinde, for taking the time out of what we know is a very busy schedule to be with us today. Your presence not only highlights the importance of this initiative, but also reinforces our commitment to advancing agriculture transformation in our country. So thank you for prioritizing us in this event. Honorable Deputy Minister, I would like also to express our sincere appreciation to the Norwegian government for your and investment towards agriculture transformation is crucial for us as we work to implement the policy reform necessary for successful agriculture transformation. Your support us to drive meaningful change of fostering sustainable future of our agriculture sector by ensuring existence of conducive policy instrument. Together, we are providing the way for innovative solution and improved practice that will benefit farmers, community, and me as a whole. Thank you again for your leadership and belief on our vision. The funding support will specifically contribute in the implementation of Agriculture Master Plan Flagship number 7, which is the basis of the master plan. Your commitment is invaluable, and we eagerly anticipate benefit more from this partnership other flagships. Honorable Deputy Minister, ATO would like to acknowledge the support of Agra team in Tanzania and Nairobi, who have played a significant role in this journey for the initiative, discussing proposal development and the final agreement. Their insights and guidance have been invaluable. Honorable Minister, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, allow me to share a brief summary of Agriculture Transformation Office and the master plan to which you are in champion. Agriculture Transformation Office was established under the Ministry of Agriculture and Ministry of Livestock and Fisheries in 2023, which mandated to drive the transformation agenda of the agriculture sector in Tanzania by supporting coordination and overseeing the implementation of Agriculture Master Plan 2050. The Agriculture Master Plan 2050 is a catalytic roadmap detailed with 15 flagship projects and 20 priority commodities, aiming at steering transformation of agriculture in the country in inclusive, sustainable, knowledge-driven, and climate resilience agriculture for the next 25 years. Honorable Minister, the project that has been signed today will support the Agriculture Transformation Office in implementation and monitoring of flagship number 7 of Agriculture Master Plan, which the objective is unlocking agriculture-specific regulatory barriers, including export barrier, to attract private investment and the scaling of Sagot model to agriculture growth corridors of Tanzania. The AGCOT will include 4 different corridors: southern, central, western, and lake zone. Among others, the project will provide technical assistance to ATO and other key stakeholders to assess and identify agriculture-specific regulatory barriers to conduct business, as well as develop agriculture growth corridors, strategies towards scaling up of our SAGOT model nationwide. The total cost of the project expected to be completed in 3 years, 2025, 2027, it will be $1.348 million, with the objective of fostering inclusive economic growth, improve food security, reduce poverty, enhance coordination and agriculture commercialization. Honorable Minister, the focus will be reforming the policy and regulatory environment to support private sector investment and commercialization in agriculture. With the support from the partners, ATO will play a pivotal role in identifying and analyzing policies and institutional constraints, providing evidence-based recommendations to address them. ATO will also oversee the scaling of the current SAGOT into agricultural growth corridors. Honorable Deputy Minister, ATO will collaborate with government institutions and stakeholders with high impact in the agriculture ecosystem, championing the development of investment blueprint and investment in green print for the 4 agriculture growth corridor in line with the Agriculture Master Plan flagship number 7. The investment blueprint will identify investment opportunities, key actors, and agriculture hotspots, while the investment green prints will consider the issue of inclusive growth, green climate, smart agriculture, and social environmental protection. Honorable Deputy Minister, apart from the above, in this project will be required to, ATO in this project will be required to do the following: leadership and alignment of the goals and vision concerned stakeholders within the AGOT ecosystem, intra-government coordination related to needs of key value chains and the private sector, coordinating follow-up and problem solution arising from public and private dialogue. Liaising with the government, that is, government agencies addressing regulatory barriers and infrastructure investment, corridor development matrix. ATO will lead the development of AGOT flagship program development, which is facilitate resource mobilization and rely partners in to support the program. Also, ATO will do identification and design of hard and soft corridor interventions. Hard intervention related to infrastructure, while the soft intervention related to the development of institutional and human resource, aiming to build the capacity to promote economic growth. Delivery and implementation mechanism, which focus on both overall delivery capacity and the institutional arrangement established among the corridor stakeholder. Honorable Minister, ATO, in collaboration with the SAGOT, will also establish a platform for the private sector to express priority and benefit from economy of scale through shared infrastructure, capacity building, clustering, and technical assistance. Clustering facilitates a structured approach to transformation by enhancing better coordination and synergies to address value chain specific challenges. This approach will allow partners to reinforce their effort towards agriculture commercialization. The cluster will build on AGRA long-term experience, track record, and successful implementation of the integrated consortia approach to improve last-mile delivery, farmer productivity, and market access. ATO is expected to work closely with COPRA to ensure efficient implementation of key policy regulations. Lastly, but not least, sector coordination and alignment of all stakeholders within AGOT's ecosystem will be crucial to maximize the efficiency of available resources. Honorable Deputy Minister, I am pleased to inform the stakeholders that we have a long list of projects already identified through Agriculture Master Plan flagships. That is, each flagship is a standalone project with specific interventions and costs, and this event is the good platform to invite other stakeholders, development partners, and private sector to work together with ATO in supporting both ministry to fast-track implementation of agriculture master plan towards inclusive economic growth and poverty reduction in Tanzania. Finally, thank you for all the stakeholders and development partners who are played a role in this journey and continue to support ATO. Your insights and guidance have been invaluable. Honorable Deputy Minister, we would like to pledge our continued support and dedication in making this vision of transforming of the agriculture sector for the improved economy, food security, and eradication of poverty in this country a reality. Thank you for your continued support and guidance in this journey. Having said so, I wish to declare this session closed. Asanteni sana kwa kunisikiliza.